We close episode 8 with extreme heartbreak, Jeremiah walking away, Belly headed for the airport, and Conrad reuniting with her in that airport crowd. So episode 9 likely opens on the emotional note of Belly maybe frozen by Conrad's sudden presence, both terrified and lit ablaze by what it means. Expect a lingering beat before any words are exchanged, where every unspoken glance tells the story of lives shattering and maybe silently piecing together again. Paris looms large as Belly's chosen refuge. But will episode 9 immediately place her there, or let Paris hover like a mirage, tentative and uncommitted? I imagine Belly first trying to pull herself together, booking a flight, stealing a quiet moment to breathe, maybe even second-guessing her escape plan. Then, one way or another, she steps onto that plane, not as an act of surrender, but as a claim on her own story. A solo scene with the skyline behind her could serve as a symbolic reset, blending freedom and fear. Conrad's last line, "Loving her was worth it," was final and loaded. In this next episode, he'll wrestle with whether to chase her physically or emotionally. We might see him torn between boarding a flight after her or staying behind to let things settle. If Belly has already left, he may simply stand on the tarmac doors closing, heart in his throat, torn by regret and relief. Alternatively, he might write her a heartfelt note, let Taylor or Laurel deliver it, and brace for whatever follows. We know from the books that Jeremiah doesn't end up with Belly and shows hints that suggest this wedding is off for real. But does episode 9 bring clarity or devastation? Perhaps we'll see Jeremiah secluded somewhere, wrecked by guilt, crumpled letter in hand, maybe revisiting Susanna's words to Conrad. His arc may pivot from wounded heartbreak to acceptance, perhaps even whispering a "I want you to be happy" to Belly in flashback or narration. Or in a twist, he could embark on his own journey of self-discovery, setting up a future beyond this love triangle. Taylor, who's been riding her own emotional storm, might find herself on repeat. Rage, solace, and unconditional love. Expect a raw conversation between her and Belly, maybe in that Paris-bound terminal, where Taylor urges her to reclaim herself, not a relationship. And Laurel, always steady yet quietly powerful, could offer Belly a letter from Susanna or something pregnant with meaning that nudges Belly toward clarity. Not romance or heartbreak, but identity and self-worth. Episode 9 has to do more than wrap wedding drama. It sets up the emotional architecture of the finale. It's about letting stories breathe, giving characters room to rebuild themselves. Belly may not immediately be with Conrad, but for fans, the emotional uplift lies in seeing her mobilize for herself. Conrad may not chase, but his quiet respect for her choice becomes a new kind of love. The tangled threads of Taylor, Stephen, Laurel, and Jeremiah expand the world beyond who does Belly choose. They remind us all that love is messy, healing is personal, and endings can be beginnings. Here's what we might expect. Belly arrives or prepares to arrive in Paris, not running from, but towards something. Conrad chooses emotional integrity over desperation, possibly staying behind or chasing in the quietest, kindest way. Jeremiah unravels, processes, and perhaps reframes his earlier questions, paving a path for acceptance or a separate future. Taylor and Laurel add emotional texture, raw affection, grounding, and gentle truths shared. Stephen and Denise continue their angle, romantic or platonic, grounded in mutual respect and growth.